Drop a like in this video in the next 5 seconds or you will not win an event during NBA 2K21. I would not risk it. What's up guys, SoloDF back with another video. Now, as many of you guys already know, NBA 2K21 is coming out this Friday. While 2K20 and 2K21 are looking like very similar games, there are a lot of things that are different or that they changed from 2K20 to 2K21. So today I'm going to tell you the top 10 things that you guys need to know before you get 2K21. In this video, I'm going to be talking about new builds in general, rep, VC, just new mechanics in the game that you guys need to know about. So if you're getting 2K21, especially on Friday, I recommend that you watch this whole video through. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 300K. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a stream or upload. Drop a like in this video. Let's aim for 5,000 likes and let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about in this video are the new pie charts that 2K added to 2K21. Now, I assume you guys have already seen these pie charts. I'll throw them up on the screen if you haven't. So yeah, this year there are new pie charts, and as you guys can see, say for the shooting and playmaking one, there's a little bit more shooting, but there is still playmaking in the build. So I'm not going to lie, at first sight, these pie charts are enticing, and if you're like a new player, if you're a beginner, these pie charts, especially the shooting and playmaking one, might be one that you want to pick. But the thing that you need to know, and this is the reason that me and a lot of other people are not picking these pie charts, is that you only get one Hall of Fame badge category. So whatever the biggest section of the pie chart is, say it's shooting, whatever, say it's defense, that's the Hall of Fame badge category that you get. But if you pick one of the pie charts that's half and half, say playmaking and shooting, then you get 2 Hall of Fame badge categories. If you're a beginner, then you probably don't care about badges too much, but if you play 2K a lot, you know how important they are, and you know that it's important to get 2 Hall of Fame badge categories. So I would reconsider if you were thinking about picking one of the new pie charts. Again, I know it's enticing, but you probably want to go with one of those half and half pie charts so that you get 2 Hall of Fame badge categories. The next thing that we're going to talk about in this video is about next gen. So as many of you guys already know, the next gen consoles, the PS5 and what is it, the Xbox Series X, are dropping. They're saying holidays 2020. So I think it's going to be around Thanksgiving, like the end of November. Maybe it's like Christmas, but I personally think it's going to be like Black Friday around Thanksgiving. 2K is going to be a completely different game. Well, I mean, that's what they're saying on the next gen console. So say you're playing 2K21 on current gen and then you're getting next gen 2K21 as well. When that comes out, a lot of your stuff does not transfer over. I'm going to get into which stuff doesn't transfer over and which stuff does transfer over in this video, but the reason for this is because it's a completely different game. There's most likely going to be different rep rewards. There's probably going to be different game mechanics. There might be new badges for all we know. So it's really important for you to know, if you're playing current gen 2K21 and you're planning on getting next gen, your rep does not transfer over. I wish it did. You know, it sucks playing current gen, grinding rep or whatever you're gonna do to switch to next gen and have to start over again. But it's just important that you guys know that rep does not transfer over. Clothes, your players' clothes do not transfer over as well. So I don't know what's gonna happen. For example, like the Halloween clothes that are like limited edition, I don't know if they'll drop those again on next gen, because when next gen comes out, Halloween's gonna be past. But yeah, your rep, your clothes, a lot of things do not transfer over. There are a few things that do transfer over, but a majority of the things are not transferring over, and we're going to get into which things do transfer over later on in this video. But yeah, it's up to you if you're playing current gen and you're going to get next gen. If you want to grind rep, that's completely up to you. I think I will be grinding rep a little bit just for the content. But yeah, you need to remember, it does not transfer over. The third thing we're going to be talking about in this video is what does transfer over to next gen. Like I said, a lot of things are not transferring over to next gen on 2K21, but one thing that is transferring over is your VC. So this is mainly like a park video, and one of the only things, I'm pretty sure it's the only thing, I could be wrong, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the only thing that transfers over that matters for park is your VC. I'm pretty sure some of the My Team stuff does transfer over, but again, I don't really play My Team. I didn't touch it at all in 2K20. I'm mainly a park guy. So if you're playing current gen on 2K21 and you're planning on getting next gen, make sure to stack up on VC, because I know that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to spend a lot of VC. I know I'm going to have, I don't know how much exactly, maybe like 200,000, 500,000, depends on how easy it is to get VC in 2K21, but I'm going to have that VC ready for when I make the switch over to next gen, because VC does transfer over. So if I were you and you're getting next gen, I would not spend a lot of VC on current gen, on clothes or all of these things that you don't need. So yeah, keep note of that. Rep and clothes don't transfer over, but VC does. The fourth thing that we're going to talk about is the dribbling in 2K21. A ton of people loved the dribbling mechanics, the dribbling system in 2K19. A lot of people liked it also back in like 2K17, for example. 2K has been messing with the dribbling mechanics as the years have gone on. So the transition from 2K19 to 2K20, the dribbling got totally messed up. Like the dribbling got way dumbed down. You couldn't do a lot of different combos in 2K20. But from what we can see in the demo, it looks like they're bringing some of the creativity back with dribbling. I think it's going to be a pretty good dribbling year. 2K20 was not the best. It was probably one of the worst dribbling years that we've seen. But in 2K21, the dribbling mechanics are way different from 2K20. If you've played the demo, you know that already. So if you're getting 2K21, then prepare for the dribbling mechanics to be different. Watch some dribble tutorials. I'll be dropping dribble tutorials as soon as I can get on the actual game, find out the best sigs. So yeah, that's something huge that I would recommend, especially to beginners. Watch dribble tutorials if you're a guard, because the dribbling system is nothing like it was in 2K20. In the beginning of 2K20, there was a broken misdirection behind the back move that everyone would spam with the tight handles badge. It was very OP, and they've brought that back for 2K21. So if I was you, I would definitely learn how to do that misdirection behind the back, because it's very OP. And I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other overpowered combos or moves that we are going to learn about once we get on the real game. The fifth thing that we're going to talk about in this video is about builds. Now, if you've played the 2K21 demo at all, at first glance, the 2K21 My Player Builder looks exactly the same as the 2K20 My Player Builder, except there's, you know, the new pie charts, but that's barely anything changed. In 2K21, a lot of the builds that were OP or really good in 2K20 are nerfed completely. 2K did a really good job of rebalancing the My Player Builder. We're going to talk about that more later, but they basically rebalanced a ton of the pie charts so that you can't have these OP builds anymore. For example, one of the most overpowered guard builds in 2K20, you could try and guess it right now. Think about it in your head. What was overpowered? The two-way slashing playmaker. You can still make that in 2K21, but it has been nerfed. There were a few things that were nerfed about it. I think the block is way lower, and I think the driving dunk is another thing that's way lower. Driving dunk is way lower on a lot of builds now, unless you have like slashing in your pie chart. That's another big thing that I noticed. It's hard to get a high driving dunk on a build now unless you have slashing in your build. The next build that was really overpowered in 2K20 that was nerfed in 2K21, it's a power forward build. I'll let you try to think about it really quickly. Okay, come on, Bandit's friend, his name is Nut, he used this build. It's a playmaking glass cleaner. If you guys didn't see the playmaking glass cleaner in 2K20, then I don't know, you must have been like living under a rock. But basically, this was a build that could do it all. It could speed boost, it could dribble, it could momentum, it could do everything. It could shoot threes, get boards, play defense. It was an overpowered build. This build, along with the two-way slashing playmaker that were OP in 2K20, are nerfed in 2K21. The play glass is pretty much unusable in 2K21. The two-way, you could still make it work, but it did take a hit to some of the categories. So those are the two nerfed builds that I'm going to talk about in this video. If you guys have found any other nerfed builds that were good in 2K20, let me know in the comments. The sixth thing that we're going to talk about in this video is staying on the topic of builds, and we're going to be talking about your players' weights. So yes, this video is about the top 10 most important things that you need to know about 2K21. And you're probably thinking, why am I talking about your players' weights? Weight in past 2Ks has never mattered like it is going to matter in 2K21. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm trying to warn you guys now. In past 2Ks, if you were a guard, you would just go minimum weight because it made you faster. Or if you're a center, you would just go max weight because it gave you a lot of strength. In 2K21, weight matters like it has never before. And I'm going to throw a few builds up on the screen and show you guys what it looks like at minimum weight compared to max weight. Like if you go max weight, you obviously get a lot of strength, but you're going to be so slow. And if you go minimum weight, you're obviously going to get a lot of speed, but your strength takes such a hit. I'll pull up a center build just so you guys can see. If you go center and you want to go like minimum weight, you'll have like a 50 strength. I'm not looking at the build right now, but from what I've seen when I was messing around in the My Player Builder, you can go max strength and you'll have like a 95 strength, or if you go minimum, you'll get like a 45, 50 strength. So this year, if you're trying to be like a small, quick guard, then I would say go minimum weight. That's pretty much the only time that you want to go minimum weight. A lot of these builds this year are going to be like in the middle somewhere of weight. Maybe a little bit up, maybe a little bit down. But you're going to be sacrificing a lot if you go all the way minimum or all the way max weight in 2K21. The seventh thing that we're going to be talking about in this video is, again, staying on the topic of builds. We're going to be talking about your player's height. So we just talked about weight, which has pretty much never been too important in 2Ks, whereas height is pretty much always important. But again, similar to weight, 2K rebalanced height as well. So for example, I'll pull up a guard build. If you go 6'8", look at your stats. Like, you just take such a hit everywhere that it's just not worth going 6'8". I would be impressed if there were some good 6'8" builds this year. Even if you go like pure playmaking, you still take a big hit, but I think pure playmaking is the only way that a 6'8" might be viable. If you're a center and you go all the way up to 7'3" this year, where in the past 7'3" has been a decent height for some builds, if you go 7'3", again, look at your stats. You're going to be insanely slow, and pretty much the only thing that you'll be able to do is like get rebounds and in some cases dunk. And in 2K20, it was kind of a different 2K. You need to have a center that is fast, that could play on the screen, play on screen defense, hedging, running around, switching if need be. And so it's just looking like taller centers are not the wave at all this year. I'm thinking that centers are going to be like 6'9", maybe 6'10". We might even see some 6'8s. I've seen a lot of good center builds that are like shooting and playmaking. I've also seen some really good pure red builds. By pure red, I mean all defense. But yeah, for centers in 2K21, it's looking like you want to be on the shorter side of the height spectrum. And for guards, I wouldn't really go above 6'5" for height, maybe 6'6" in some cases, but 6'7" and 6'8" are a big no-no. I would say 6'3", 6'4" is probably going to be the best height for guards this year, because again, this year in 2K21, they're penalizing you a lot for being tall, but for being short, they really don't penalize you. You're just short, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people would prefer to be tall if they could, but this year 2K is just making it hard. The eighth thing that we're going to be talking about in this video is, again, staying on the topic of builds. We're going to be talking about your player's wingspan. Wingspan on your player is very important pretty much in every 2K. But in the past, the thinking was basically, if you're a shooting build, just go minimum wingspan, or if you're a defensive build, go max wingspan. This year, if you look at the wingspan, I'll pull up some builds again. 2K really doesn't reward you for going minimum wingspan. Like in the past, you'd gain like 3 on your ball handle, 4 on your 3-point shot, a bunch of other stats. Like, it would be rewarding to go minimum on some builds. But this year they balanced the my player builder again, and like I've been saying, they don't really reward you for going with a shorter wingspan. Unless you're like a pure sharp and you just want to punt defense and you don't care about defense at all, go minimum wingspan, I guess. But you're gonna need to play defense in most cases. Unless you're playing threes and you're a guard and you have like a lock on your team that can guard the ball, you're probably gonna need to play defense. And if you have minimum wingspan, you have T-Rex arms, you cannot play defense. So this year I've been seeing a lot of builds that are just going max wingspan, or like 1 down for max, because wingspan this year actually changes your driving dunk. I don't know if in 2K20 it did. I don't think it did. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but this year if you go max wingspan, you actually get a lot to your driving dunk, and you get a lot to some other categories, as you guys can see. So if you're a guard this year, before you just slide it all the way to minimum wingspan to give you like a higher 3-pointer, I would consider putting your wingspan like somewhere in the middle, maybe a tick down, 2 ticks down, or maybe a tick up, or 2 ticks up. It kind of depends build by build. But yeah, wingspan this year doesn't reward you as much as it has in the past for going with a shorter wingspan. So this year, I think we're going to see a lot of builds with higher wingspans, or just wingspans in the middle. The ninth thing that we're going to talk about in this video is how this year in 2K21, it is very hard to find and make a build that can do it all. I'm not going to lie, the 2K devs balanced the build system insanely well this year. In the past, for example, last year with the two-way slashing playmaker, I'll just use that as an example. That build was a defense and playmaking pie chart build. But if you remember the two-way slashing playmakers, they were known for like hop stepping, so that's finishing, and they could also shoot threes. So that was a build that could do everything. For example, the playmaking glass cleaner that we talked about earlier in the video, that was a build that could do everything. But in 2K21, pretty much what you see is what you're going to get with your pie chart. If you're picking a half shooting, half playmaking pie chart, then that's pretty much what you're going to do. You're not going to be really playing good defense on that build or finishing. In past 2Ks, people would try to tweak their build with their wingspan, their weight, their height. You could still do that a little bit in 2K21, but it's not like in the past where you could take a shooting and finishing build and like bump the wingspan way up, the height way up, and make that build the defender. So this year I would probably want to focus on getting just 2 to 3 good categories whether it's finishing that you just don't want to care about, or one of the categories you probably just not care about. Because if you try to care about all the categories, then your build is just going to be like too balanced and just not really good at anything. Now, of course, there are some exceptions. Like there's going to be some builds with like a 75 3-pointer, 75 ball handle that can like dunk and play defense solid. Those builds are going to be okay, but you're not really going to be able to make like a Kevin Durant or like a LeBron James build this year that could just do everything at a high level. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're making your 2K21 player. Don't sacrifice the most important part of your build. Say you're a shooter, don't sacrifice some of your shooting to try and get a little bit of everything to be balanced, because it's just not really worth it this year. So the 10th thing that we're going to be talking about in this video is something that really doesn't need a lot of explaining. We're going to be talking about the Jumpshot Creator in 2K21. So in past 2Ks, you would have to play a lot of My Career. I think last year it was like 25 to 30 My Career games to unlock the Jumpshot Creator. But in 2K21, and this is something that they finally did right, at least in my opinion, they're trying to take the My Career grind a little bit out of it, because some people do just want to play park. In 2K21, you unlock the Jumpshot Creator right away without even playing one My Career game. So this is something that I've been waiting for 2K to do for a while, and they've finally done it in 2K21. So we could see the same thing in 2K21 for like badges, where in the past, badges have been pretty much easier to grind in My Career, but maybe in 2K21, they're going to be easier to grind in park, because as we're already seeing with the Jumpshot Creator, they're taking a little bit of the grind out of My Career for your My Player this year. So I just threw this list together, and I would say like an hour, 2 hours of thinking. I went on Twitter, asked a few questions, trying to figure some stuff out, but I'm sure there's some things that I left off of this list that's important for 2K21. So if I left anything off the list, go in the comments right now and comment it. If you see anything important, drop a like in that comment so that it goes towards the top of the comments so that more people can see it. I'm not gonna lie, I already know. I'm gonna look at the comments. The top comments can be something so dumb that I just forgot and left off this list. But yeah, it's impossible to get like everything on this list. I just thought, like, what have I noticed? What do I think that people need to know before they get on 2K21? And I just added it to a list. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about like the new builds in general, what builds are gonna be good, what transfers over to next gen, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to reply to every single comment, because this is one of those videos where I'm trying to help you guys and like teach you guys something. So I'll try to be more active in the comments and replying and answering your guys' questions if you guys have any. But yeah, we're only a few days away from the release of 2K21. It's coming so close. Like, I'm just ready to grind that game. I'm ready to like pump out content and just grind. But yeah, if you guys aren't already following me on Twitter at YT_solo, make sure to follow me on there, because that's a good way to stay up to date with me. I've also been running a few 2K21 giveaways on my Twitter. I think I ran like 4 or 5 so far this summer, and I probably will run a few more before the game drops. So make sure to check my Twitter, see if there's any giveaways running. Drop me a follow on there. But yeah, only a few more days until the game finally drops. If you guys enjoyed this video or if it helped you out, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
We finna go ahead and run out some bands. So much potential they don't understand. Shorty, you supposed to be holding my hand. You were supposed to be part of the plan. Everything's different when you got a man. I might still go like your place on the ground. I swear that niggas be hating. They saying I can't make a banger. I did it again. Shut up, little Tucker. We finna look with the bros and go ahead and hop in the bands. Don't listen to all the shit that they telling you, cause the truth is they ain't really your friend. Shorty, I know that these niggas ain't